Friends, welcome back to Cyberscripters. In this session of Python learning, we would be looking at data types set and tuple. We already looked at list and dictionaries, and now in this session we are going to look at set and tuple. So let's just quickly look at what are set and tuples. So set and tuple are again built-in data types in Python used to store collection of data. So set and tuple are just like lists and dictionaries. They store collection of data. Set is unordered. Unordered means it does not guarantee you if you put an element at index X, or let's say I'm putting an element at index 5, you will not get it at index 5. So it is unordered. It is unindexed and mutable. Any immutable data type can be element of set. So set can have any kind of object inside it, but it has to be immutable. So for example, list is mutable. So list cannot be part of a set. Now, in case of tuple, tuple is ordered, indexed, and immutable. And tuple items can be of any data type. So let's just quickly summarize this tuple in set. So list is defined as square brackets, tuple rounded brackets, and set as curly brackets. So lists are mutable, ordered. You can use indexing and slicing, and duplicates are allowed. So tuples are also ordered and indexed, and duplicates are allowed, but they are not mutable. And sets are mutable, but they are neither ordered, indexed, or duplicate are also not allowed in them. Now just let's go to PyCharm and see set and tuples. Let me create a new Python file and I'll call it set underscore tuple. So let's just start with a set. So let me define a set. As I told you, set is defined as a curly bracket. So this is my set. So if you remember, dictionary is also defined in curly brackets, but then in case of dictionary, you have name value pairs. So a dictionary is defined as name colon value, and then you have comma for the second item. While in case of set, you have individual items separated by comma. Let's just go ahead and print it. So this is my set. Now, as I mentioned earlier, set cannot have duplicate elements. But while defining a set, I can have duplicate elements in set. I can define duplicate elements in set. So you see this set has so many duplicate elements. But when I print it, I won't be getting any duplicate elements. That means that set automatically removes all duplicate elements. So if you look at this set, there are so many duplicate elements, but when I print it, or if I am accessing it, I would be getting only unique elements. Now let's look at how we can add elements to this list. So if you want to add a single element, you can just mention it like this: my set, my string, and it's going to print it. Sorry, we didn't call add. Okay. So it has to be my set dot add. So see, we added 18, but it is added in the starting of the set. When we added my string, it is added inside in between. So that's why we call it is not ordered. You cannot guarantee an order in set. Now let's say you want to add multiple items. So when you want to add multiple items, you can use update. Now in case of update, you cannot give it requires an iterable. So you cannot give an individual element like let's say 19 or my string. It has to be an iterable. Now when I am saying iterable in Python, list, tuple, set, dictionary, these are the objects that are iterable. So generally any object that implements magic methods iter and next they becomes iterable. So we will look into when we go into oops and other things. But for now, you have to understand that if you want to use update, you have to pass an iterable like list. For example, I can do this way. I can pass a list and all these elements would be added to my set. See, one is added here, three was already there, two is added here. So again, this is not ordered. So now what happens is list is a mutable data type. So you cannot add a list to set. But here what happens is what update does is update iterates through this iterable and add all the individual items into set. Now if I try to add a list using add, it would give me an error. So if I try to add a list using add method, it would say that it is unhashable. So if you want to add a single item, you can use add, and if you have a iterable with more than one object, you can use update method. So that is the difference between add and update. Now let's look at removing elements. For removing elements, you can use discard, and I say let's say choose. So you see now we don't have two inside our set. It is removed. There is one more method for removing element, that is my set dot remove. Let's say remove 9. So the 9 is deleted from the set. So now what is the difference between discard and remove then? See, discard will not give any error if the element is not found. So for example, if I say 2000, now 2000 is not part of my set, but discard will not give you any error. If the element is there, it would delete it. If it is not there, then it would silently move forward. It won't give you any error. But in case of remove, that's not the case. Remove will give you error. So if I say 90, 90 is not part of my set, and you will get an error. So again, you have to understand these minor differences between methods. So as we saw, add, update, others is discard and remove. So remove will give you an error if element is not available, but discard won't. So it depends on your requirements. If you want to get an error, if you want to get a notification, if element is not there in the set and you are trying to remove it, then you can use remove. Now let's see some more examples. Let's say I have a set A and I have set B. Now I can take union and intersection on this sets. So let's say I take union. So for union, what you have to do is you have to use this pipe operator, and for intersection, ampersand. And there is one more difference. Difference is minus sign. So what union does is basically union will give all the elements that are in set A plus elements that are in set B. So let's just print out union. Let me comment this out. Otherwise it will give me an error. Okay. So now you see we got the union here. Now our set A was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and set B was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now 3, 4, 5 are both in common in set A and set B. So it would take them only once and then it would append 6, 7. Now let's look at the intersection. The intersection will give you common elements between set A and set B. So that is 3, 4, and 5. And finally, let's look at the difference as well. So what happened was from set A, we subtracted set B. So all the common elements between set A and set B were removed. And only elements of set A which are not part of set B, that is 1 and 2, they would be available. So this is about union, intersection, and difference between sets. Now let's say how would you check if an element is present in set or not? So you can use in operator. So I can say 12 in my set. So 12 in my set would give me true because 12 is present in my set. But if I do 120, it will give false. So this is in operator. Now let's see how you can iterate through this set. So to iterate through this set, you can use again for loop for I in my set, print I. So it will print all the individual set elements. Now let's look at a use case. Let's say you have a list A. It has this kind of elements. And you want to remove duplicates out of this list. So here you can make use of set. What I can do is I can create a set out of this list. I can pass this list to set constructor. Now since set cannot have duplicate elements, it will automatically remove all the duplicates. Now I have set. Let's print this. See, my original list was 15233 So there were duplicates. But after I created it to set, it has only 5 elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 unique elements. Now, what I can do is I can convert this set back to list. So I can say list A is equal to list So basically what I'm doing is I have a list with duplicate elements. I pass that list to set constructor. So it will create a set for me. And since set cannot have duplicate element, all the duplicate elements would be removed. Now I want my list back with unique elements. So I am passing that set with unique elements to a list constructor and it will create a list out of it. And now if I print my list, see, now our list has unique elements. So you can use this set for removing duplicates element from list or any other iterable. Now let's look at tuple. So a tuple is defined as around brackets. Let's just print my tuple. So this is our empty tuple. Now let's add some values to tuple. A tuple can have any kind of object inside it. So I can have 1, comma 2, comma 3 integers. Then I can have a list. Then I can have a dictionary as well. So let's just print out this tuple. So this is my tuple. It is integers, list, dictionary. So in set, you cannot have mutable elements like list, but we don't have any such restriction on tuple. But tuple is indexed. Tuple is indexed in the sense that if I can access tuple using indexes, so if I say I want third element, I want element at index 3. So this is 0, 1, 2, and this is 3. So I'll get the list. So this is my 0 index, first index, second index, and this is my third index. So in case of set, there is no indexing. So you cannot access this way. You can also do slicing. I can say 1 colon 3. So it will start from 1 and it will end before 3. Again, the end parameter of slicing is not included. So it will go only to 2. So you will get index 1 and index 2, 2 comma 3 in the tuple. Since it is indexed, you can reverse this tuple using colon colon minus 1 and the entire tuple is reversed. Now let's see how you can access it or iterate it using for loop. So you can use for index comma value then enumerate my tuple when index is index value is equal to yeah. So this is the output from the for loop. So we would look these things in detail when we look at the loops. So I'll be revisiting these things there, but for the sake of completion, I'm putting it here. Now let's say I have two tuples T1 and I have another tuple T2 and I want to join them. So I can use plus operator So using plus operator, you can combine two tuples. So this is the output you will get. Now the final thing we want to see is we say that tuple is immutable, so you cannot change it. So let's try and see that. For that, I will be writing a try block. So what I'm trying to do is I am trying to change value of my tuple at index 1. Now since it is immutable, I should not be allowed to change it. So don't worry if you don't understand this, try and accept for now. Try and accept is basically for handling exceptions in Python. But let's just go ahead and run it. So see what I am getting is tuple object does not support item assignment. So what is happening is when I try to assign something to my tuple at index 1, because it is immutable, I cannot do that. And that's why it's raising an exception, which we are printing it. So this is all about set and tuple. So we have completed all the four collection objects in Python: list, dictionary, set, and tuple. So just practice them, practice, practice, practice. You need to write programs because only listening and only looking at the tutorials and reading books won't help in programming. You have to practice them. So keep practicing, and if you find any issues or if you have any queries, just feel free to drop me a comment and I will get back to you.